Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us here on the Gunline, where we like to hang out and just chill like we would out there in the field, in between the trails, under the net, just chopping it up between fire missions or during our downtime. So, on today's episode, we have a guest, Mr. Forrest Job. He was a 13 Bravo. He spent about 10 years in the Army, and we talk about a little bit of why he joined, how he ended up joining the 13 Bravo branch, which, like most of us, is a goddamn video. And then we talk about his time in service deployments, as well as, coping and dealing with shit when we get back to the world and start trying to reintegrate. Hunt ends up joining us later in the pod, and we hang out and we talk about just a few more things. But I hope y'all enjoy this episode. I did. It's always good to have, like, a new perspective or a new person to speak with. So if you'd like to join us here on the Gun Line and be a guest, shoot me an email on thegunline@gmail.com, and I will definitely make time. We'll work around your schedule to have you on. You don't have to be a 13 banger. You could be a civilian, and you just want to know more, or just want to chop it up. We talk about it all, man. We talk about it all. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. See y'all on the Gunline. Gunline, Gunline, Gunline. We got a fire mission coming down, y'all. I'm your host, Lopez, and you're listening to the On the Gunline podcast, where we shoot the shit like we did out in the field, under those nets and in between those trails, just chopping it up, kicking back. And, today we got a very special episode. We got a new cat here to the Gunline. Just met him through the socials on the Tickety Talks. Former 13 banger, fucking and current TikToker entrepreneur. I'm glad to have you on here, brother. I haven't even caught your name. What is your name, brother?
Forrest. You're good, man.
All right.
Yeah, that's my artist name. My other vets, they'll hear to know, they know the real name, but yeah, I just go by that for the art. Yeah.
Okay, too easy. Forrest it is. All right, Forrest. Well, I'm glad you are on here, man. I appreciate you being on here. Shit, like I was telling you earlier, it's been a long time since I did a shoot the shit episode, and I used to have like a bunch of questions I would go through, but I just don't like being scripted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. No, I love that intro, man. I was all like, damn, I was never under the nets. Only in AIT. That was it.
Oh,
Under the nets.
so you was mechanized your whole life?
No, I was 198.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. You had the dinosaur.
Yeah, that was equivalent of the 8-inch. Yeah.
Yeah, for real, man.
I did 198, and then I switched over. I got tired of getting rained on, so I switched over to heavy.
Okay. Yeah, see,
We Paladin.
I was backwards. I started Paladin, and then I didn't learn what real artillery was till I went to the light, and I learned how to fire that 119er.
Hold on now. We can have some artillery talk, but I always tell someone, you do it the other way. You want to go from light to heavy. You don't want to go from heavy to light. It's a culture shock.
Ooh, yes, it is, my friend. Oh my God, bro. I thought I was the shit because I can make that Paladin dance. But when I got to that gun line on the 119er, forget about it, bro.
I would say before we get into it, just about that was the whole thing coming from, toe light world. There's lazy artillery, it's all things like that. But when you get into it, it just simplifies everything.
It does.
All it does is just like, all right, you get to it quicker and it's fun. It's more of a video game. That's why I enjoyed it so much. It was like a big old toy, and then go out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, with that though, I mean, if you think about it, now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what a real gunline discussion sounds like. All right. When I think about it, like, it's cool if they have the digital, but what happens when that PDFCS goes down? Do they know how to degrade it? You know what I mean?
That was at the Top Gun competition. That was the one thing that got me, man, was the graded ops. Everything else, but it was like, they were like, how you came from Toad? I was all like, I was just assistant gunner, ammo team chief. I was on, private through specialist on the light. You learn, like, you skip, like when you get promoted too quick, you skip steps. Like, some of those things are missing, but you ain't trying to turn down no pay raise.
Oh, facts.
Yeah, degraded, you gotta. I'm telling you, degraded ops is where it's at.
It is, man. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I was fucking, when I first got to Fort Carson, that was my last duty station, and they were and what's funny is I started at 277 in Fort Hood. They were mechanized. So when I was going back to 277 as my last unit, I was like, oh shit, I know that unit. They're mechanized. I got this shit. I'm gonna go out there, be a motherfucking gunny, get smoke position, whatever. Nah, then I looked at it and like, wait, 119 or what the fuck? When did this shit happen? Bro, I swear to God, I went there and that became the worst thing you could ever be in a motherfucking field
Where?
artillery battery
Are you talking about at down the hood or Carson?
in Carson, because I got to 277 in Carson.
Were you in Fourth Brigade?
Yep.
Okay,
Or
all
the
right,
Mountain
all right.
Brigade.
So I was in Third Brigade.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I was all the way on the top of the mountain by the airfield.
Yep. Remember. Yeah. It was like that was the only light unit on post. Yeah, because I was right
Yes.
there, third. I was in 329.
Okay.
Hey,
Who
seven.
was your smoke?
Fucking damn, Smoke Gwen. Smoke Gwen. We had Smoke Morris. I don't remember none of the white smokes, man.
Oh, okay. Shit.
But Smoke Gwen, Smoke Morris, or whatever. It's probably some more, but brain cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just because artillery is a small ass world. For those that don't know, the field artillery, the army is a small world already. But in the field artillery, you're nothing but like 2, 3 friends away from each other. Because I know a couple of my homeboy Watts. He was out there in Carson with us. My boy Urena, Ratnong. I'm trying to think of who all, but I don't remember what units. Nygaard was
Yeah,
out there.
y'all was off in the cut. That's what it was. Like we had third. It was like first, second, and third were like kind of right there. Y'all
Right,
was.
right on Garrison, and we were way the fuck out. We were like the bastard children up on the hill, man.
Yeah, you
But
want to start at the beginning though?
yeah, man, it's all gravy. This is the way I like to roll, man. I like it to be natural, you know. But yeah, let's go ahead and start back from the way back. So obviously you're unless the tattoo fucking memorandum came down, you're a veteran now. So you're no longer in the military. So what what got you to join in the military in the first place?
Oh, it's actually, man, it's funny. And I've written a book about that time. I actually flunked out of high school, year
Mm-hmm.
2000. No, not high school. I'm tripping. Don't do drugs, kids. But I flunked out of college after my first semester.
Okay.
And like I came home, and of course, growing up with black parents, especially a black mom, like you gotta do something. Like you gotta put in the work. You can't just sit around here. And like my dad was in the army. I grew up an army brat.
Oh, okay.
I'm third generation. Like so he was in, my grandpa fought in Korea.
Damn.
My dad was a Cold War era soldier, and but I never wanted to do it. Like I never wanted to, but then I was like, all right, what else I'm gonna do? Um, and then I went down to recruit station, but I was too much of a bitch at the time. Like I was just saying, like, yo, I got this asthma from school, whatever.
Yeah.
So that kind of like, all right, so didn't do that. And then life got real because I had a family at the time. I was married,
Oh,
had a couple
damn.
kids. And then like I was trying to join the police academy actually.
Okay.
Growing up in St. Louis, there's not a lot of options. Like you either work in a square job or you in the streets, and I wasn't about that life.
I feel you.
And
So
then you had like jobs like security. I mean police, fire department. The really kind of good paying ones.
so you're from St. Louis, Missouri, then?
Yeah,
That's where
yeah,
you're from? Okay. All
yeah,
right. Nice town. Nice town. From
yeah,
what I remember. I was
yeah.
only at the Greyhound station and I did not want to get off that bus.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
I was working at a hospital and it was funny because I had a cavity. It was kicking my ass and I wouldn't be able to afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my denial letter from the police academy. And then my dad was all like, hey, if you want to do law enforcement, here's the army, look at it as an option.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, cool. So yeah, I just literally called up the recruit station and I was like, hey, I'll be down there. Like I probably made their day.
Shit. What year was this in?
2005, man. This was fresh off Katrina. This back
Oh
in the day
shit.
when recruiters were killing themselves. We had what, two whole wars going on. Like I
Mm-hmm.
went in during like the wildest time to join.
Bro, I was 1 year ahead of you. I came in November 2004. I graduated OSUT in March 2005. So you were probably one of the last OSUT classes then.
Well, actually, I don't know. I forgot when they ended OSIT because I put it like in that terms, I was the second cycle to get ACUs.
Oh wow, okay. Damn.
We were you would see half of like SEAL, 90% of SEAL and BDUs,
Yeah.
and before I even got them, before I found out they were trash, I was like, oh, it's something new. They look cool because they were different. But
Right.
first generation ACUs, single stitch crotch,
Man, those things were hot garbage. I thought they were cool because of the digital pattern.
Yeah,
But then when I was like, Velcro, this isn't very tactical. But yeah, I miss my BDUs. I will always be a champion for the BDUs. So, all right. So you go to the recruiting station, you made their motherfucking day. How the fuck did you end up at 13 Bravo?
bruh. Like that's funny too because like if people like look at my life, like it was like what the fuck? Because I was growing up in a very well, academics was like a big thing. My
Okay.
mom pushed. I was supposed to go to college. I was supposed to be an accountant. Like this whole thing.
Damn.
So like I could have, if I really wanted, I could have been an officer. I went in like with the intelligence,
Right.
but I only had a high school diploma, and so I get in there, and man, my recruiter was fine as fuck. I wonder where she is now.
Was
She
it
had a
her
fat old ass,
Facebook?
that woman. Yeah, I remember. Wish I remember her name, but yeah, went in there, took the pre-ASVAB, did pretty
Mhm.
well on that, pulled out the jobs, but then they were like, MP's a 5-year commitment, and I was like, I ain't trying to do 5. I'm trying to do like 4.
Yeah.
Maybe I was looking at the 2-year option, like I was trying to hurry up, get the thing done, and out, and then
Mhm.
so then I had a whole list, I think, and I took the ASVAB, so I got a 70. So I had a lot
Okay.
of options with a 106 GT. So I had a lot of options. So I'm looking down and I'm like, all right. I was like, if I'm going to be in the army, I want to do the army.
There you go.
First, I was all like, but I was like, I don't want all the action. I never seen, it was 13 Mike at the time. And
Okay.
the video was cool as fuck. I was like, oh shit, shoot rockets. You back here? You good? You know?
Mhm.
And then I get the MEPS, and they're like, all the 13 mic slots are filled. I'm like, fuck. And so they were like, you could be a tanker. And I always had this irrational fear, always getting burned up in a tank. All the war movies I see, I was always, I'm gonna get burned up in a tank. And I forgot what the other one was, and it was like artillery. And I was like, huh. And I looked at the video. I was like, that's
That
cool.
fucking video.
I'm gonna get you every time. 13 Bravo, cannon crew member.
Oh my God, dude. You know what's funny is I've mentioned that video so many times on here because I would say a good 99% of us got got in because of that fucking video. So one of my buddies he's in the Navy. He's like, man, y'all got to show me this video. I mean, y'all talk about this video so damn much. But funny, I don't know if you can see this picture here. Shit. Hold on. Come on. Hold on, let me unblur this shit. I want to show you your irrational fear of being inside or burning up
Uh,
inside something. I'm gonna show you something. Let's see. How do I do this shit, bro? How do I unblur it? Oh,
uh,
video, right? Duh, I'm retarded.
having a geriatric.
Choose virtual background. Go with none. All right. So this is what comes out of a burnt tank.
Oh man, see,
So
no,
you right there is a burnt body. You can see the silhouettes of the Marines that are next to that burnt body. One of those is my brother.
oh,
This is during the Gulf War,
okay, okay.
and so he was a tanker. So he was out in those fucking in those nice little battles that happened and shit.
Holler to that motherfucker, man.
Yeah, and he sent me that picture, bro, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to be a tanker." And that's how they got me because they showed me the video and I saw the Paladin and I thought it was a fucking tank.
Yeah, yeah,
Right
man.
on.
Yep. So
So,
yeah, pretty much. I shipped out October 12th, 2005.
oh, word. Okay.
October 12th, 2005.
How
Yep.
much was that bonus?
Shit, 20 stacks, man.
We.
$20,000.
Yes, I got 14.
Oh yeah. 20,000, 4 years. Yep.
Now,
And I was, they were throwing out stupid bonuses, but I was all like, oh, I ain't gonna join because like cats is getting, like the war, like the way they were reporting, like cats was like they had the snipers out there. They were
mhm,
talking about like some sort of like wires that were snapping off the heads of the
the
gunner.
gunners. Yep.
Had they were snatching up the contractors, chopping their heads. I was actually used to watching videos on E-Bombs World or whatever at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, but then life hit and I was like, all right, sign me up. So yeah, 20 stacks, man. Went down to Fort Sill,
Hmm.
down to Alpha 122. Yep.
Oh shit! I was Delta 122, baby. I was Delta 122. Oh shit!
Yeah, we didn't have a Delta. I think it was like Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie that
Oh,
cycle.
I don't know. I was Delta 122. Fucking Delta dogs. My
Yeah.
drill sergeants were Drill Sergeant Cabrera, Drill Sergeant motherfucking Senior Drill Sergeant William. Oh, look, man, I don't know if he was still there at this time when you got there, but there was this one evil Skeletor looking motherfucker named Drill Sergeant Spivey. And I swear to God, this motherfucker was a white dude who looked like Skeletor, and he didn't even have to talk to fucking put that fear in you. I mean,
Yeah.
he just had that evil fucking look, like that typical drill sergeant look.
Yeah, what was the MOS?
Had to be well, he had to be a banger, had to be a 13 Brawler, 13 Foxtrot. But
Might be. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, man. So what were your expectations of basic or boot camp versus the realities of it, man?
Shit, you ain't never gonna be ready for what is on the other side. Yeah, I really kind of went in really, really clueless.
Yeah.
My dad don't like you would think like being the son of a former soldier like
Mm-hmm.
um we would talk about it more, but then I learned he's recently passed last year, so every time I
Oh
talk
man,
about it, I kind of get
condolences, bro.
become appreciated 1 year, but like I don't think he ever wanted me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he never was all like, all right, this was the spec, do this. Like I heard maybe like one of my coworkers, he was like, hey, the worst part's gonna be the gas chamber. But going in, like I was all, it was an adventure for me. It was like, all right, get away from his wife. We couldn't stand each other anyways. So I'm like, all right. Um,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
no real expectations. Like I was like I was like, I want to get in and get up out of there. And that was it. I mean, I watched the little videos, but those are
Mm-hmm.
sugar coated. Like those are
Facts. That
yeah,
shit ain't real.
yeah, you just know at some point somebody gonna start yelling at you.
So you never watched Full Metal Jacket growing up, man?
I don't think I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think Metal Jack until after
Gotcha.
after I joined. Like some of the movies I was like, yeah, I ain't seen these till maybe more like Vietnam movies.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
more like not Eat That is a Vietnam movie, more
Yeah.
like cartoon, shit like that.
Yeah, I thought I would say like they don't have that whole boot camp phase in it and shit like
Yeah,
that. That's too easy, man. All right. So you go through boot camp, basic training, and the gas chamber did suck balls. To me, I think that's one of the worst experiences I ever had. Oh, fuck
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's one of my embarrassing moments. I literally had a panic attack in there.
Oh,
Like
word.
as soon as I ripped off the mask, like I couldn't breathe. I thought I was dying. I literally like fell to the ground. I'm flailing. They gotta pick me up, bro. I was such. Oh man, it was. I was a bitch that week, man.
Bro.
You pulled my bitch car, man.
you know, oh shit, you ain't the only one, brother.
Yo, and then what's crazy? Like my evil ass smoke before I got out. He tried to get me to go back. They were trying to get us to go back in before our ETS.
Yeah.
I literally had a soldier that was getting chaptered out. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be accompanying the soldier all day. I don't care if he's 19. I am not going that gas chamber.
It's a fucking dumb shit. Oh man, dude, that's fucking crazy to me, dude. I have my own little CS story. In Delta 122, they love playing with CS gas on us. And well, anyways, what ended up happening was, you know how they tell you to unmask and then go through your spiel. So I
Yeah,
did that perfectly fine, and then I dropped to my knees, bro. I started panicking because, like you said, it feels like you're literally dying. Every time you breathe, like it feels like you can't breathe because it hurts. Well, I dropped to my knee and I was about to start running, and then my battle buddy Pop, he put his hands on me like, "Don't do it, Lopez, don't do it." So I was like, all right. And I'm just pushing through and, just I'm dying, all that bullshit. And I get outside and I'm fucking flailing my arms up and down like they make us do. And then all I hear is drill sergeant, this little Hitler mustache having motherfucker. I forgot his name. Science, drill sergeant Science. He's like, hey, battle, get that private, get that private. And I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, he dropped his mask. And I'm looking at my hands, bro. I'm like, oh, fuck.
did you go
Don't
back
know.
in?
Oh yeah. They threw my ass into the cold room. Then they threw me into the hot room, closed all the doors. It was me and two or three other guys. And they were like, grab your fucking mask. And as I was going to go grab it, they started playing soccer with it, kicking it from one drill sergeant to the other drill sergeant to all over the corners, man, in there. I was fucking dying. I finally got it. When I grab it, first thing you're supposed to do with a fucking mask is put it on and clear it, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't clear it. I just took in that big ass breath of CS and then it was bad, bro. It sucked balls. God damn. But you know what? Those are the memories that we make that will carry wherever, bro. Oh my
yeah.
god.
The check would have to be large for me to go back in there.
Shit, I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right though. I wouldn't want to experience that shit anymore. When we had to go do Freedom Town or whatever the fuck it was called, we had to go clear this one town that was made of connexes.
Okay.
One of our drill sergeants thought it'd be funny if, when we went in to clear this connex, this building, he was gonna just throw CS fucking gas in there and lock us in there. So yeah, they
It
had fun with us, bro.
was, yeah, I feel like there was eras. Like I came in at a good time because like I was all like that was the one thing too I was kind of worried about because my dad came in when they were hitting people in basic training.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing I was like, but like yeah, they actually didn't fuck with us that much about the CS.
Mm.
They were already like threatened, hey, when we're in the field, they might throw in the tent, be ready, but
Hmm. I
Rocker was
wish
like,
they would have done that to us. At least give us a warning. You know what I learned to do, bro, out in the field? Sleep with my CS mask as a pillow. That way I just turn my head around and put that bitch on. I had to do that shit. It saved my ass. But dude, that's fucking crazy. Any experiences you remember from like that you recall, like some good times and shit, any good times, bad times you remember from basic?
basic. Well, I'll never forget the first day. It was man that first day that shark attack. Woo! That literally like it's just like imagine somebody taking some like metal trash cans and just like slam right in the ear. But the
Mm-hmm.
highlight of that whole thing was we were getting smoked, and then I think he was some Charlie Bravo. I don't know. They brought this soldier over and trying to figure out the right appropriate words to use.
Oh, you can use whatever words you want here. I don't.
Yeah. But drill sergeant was all like, "Hey, yo, private, tell the soldiers what you told me." And he was all timid or whatever. And when he was like, "Don't bitch up now." Made him get in the middle of the kill zone. He was like, "Tell them soldiers you told me you was a faggot." Because for reference, this is before Don't Ask,
Don't
Don't.
ask, don't tell. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a whole different time. It was wild,
Yeah.
wild. But and then he literally got in the middle of there with yelled out, "I'm a faggot! I'm a faggot! I'm a faggot!" And we was like, and you can't like the whole time you can't laugh.
Right.
And you're like, what the fuck? And like he ended up graduating though, because they told us like the fastest way to get up out of here is to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was all like, all right.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but
We
I mean I get it because it's all like I have so much respect for people that have gone through basic. Because I've literally seen it break people.
mm-hmm.
I've literally seen people like yeah, you learn like how much you can take when you go through there. Like literally people, I want to go home. Like, yeah, first out of prison, man.
And what's a trip is like I think that was the whole purpose of it though, was to weed out the fucking wheat. You know what I mean? And I have my opinions on what I hear basic training is like now. The fact that these motherfuckers be having their cell phones and shit like that. Don't get me started with that shit.
Yeah, I it's like I get it. I get it and I get it. I'll just say I'm glad I don't serve during this time because it's
Hmm.
way more distractions. I understand with the phones, but like, yeah, I don't know, maybe they preparing for these wars where they're used letting the robots do all that shit, but I don't have like I'm finally at a time like I don't have faith in the military right now.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up. I kind of look at it like what we were talking about earlier between degraded operations and fucking digital, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it's good to have digital, but you also got to know how to do degraded operations. What happened with all these people that learn how to fucking use a goddamn they use a plugger or some kind of GPS. They
Yeah.
forget how to do land nav. They don't know how to fucking navigate. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta learn the rules before you can bend the rules. Before you want to fucking cut them corners in that gun,
Mm-hmm.
you better learn everything. Everybody better know their job.
Yep.
Everybody, I was like, hey, we're gonna pre-cut these powders, baby. Or
Mm-hmm.
my number one man, if you're gonna hold this lanyard, hey, y'all gotta. And that's the thing. I used to I gave all my soldiers in that gun check firepower because I'm all
Okay.
like, the minute y'all see something unsafe, because
Mm-hmm.
I had them go through. Everybody was in that chief seat.
Okay.
Oh, y'all gonna get a taste of this. Everybody wanted
Facts.
chief.
Yep.
But, yeah, but yeah, basic man was AIT basic was I was there grand total. I failed my 111. I failed to run.
Okay.
But I was like, I get the fuck up out of here. So I passed it the second time. But yeah, I was there 15 weeks. This is back when basic was 7. Oh,
Yeah.
7. I thought once again I was gonna recruiter lies. She was like, oh, OSA will be, AIT will be something like college. But then I get there, they throwing around this OSA term. And I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
The whole time? I was like, oh man. So, but it worked out because you formed more of a bond with each
Yes.
other, and your drill sergeants, y'all all knew each other. It was ended up working out.
Yep. And now that you mentioned that, just for a little bit of context for a lot of people that didn't that, if there's any civilians listening out there, look, the hardest time in basic training is probably gonna be the first 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? After that, when you start fucking knowing your job, when you start knowing what to do, how to not to be a fuck up, the drill sergeants won't fuck with you as much, as much. I have to throw that out there as much. They still gonna fuck with you. But the fuck games aren't as bad as like the first say 2 to 3 weeks when they're breaking you out of that civilian mentality. And yeah, man, and that's one thing I appreciated about OSUT. It was 16 weeks long, and yeah, a lot of the cats that you go through it with, you end up either seeing again at your next unit or sometime around your military career, you're gonna see them again.
In our case, back when we was deployments was back to back to back, he was like, all right, we relieve you. Okay, all right, you coming back, you relieve me?
Yep. Fucking facts, bro. So let's say, all right, you finished all that bullshit, you graduated. What was your first duty station?
I actually went home first. I got
A-Trap.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah.
Real quick before you get there.
Yeah,
man,
ahead, man.
basically I was hustling, man, because I was sending my whole check back to the family. I used to be in that joker making beds, white boys in there, and then slanging dip. I was risking my freedom for that shit. I was slanging dip and cigarettes and candy. So
you didn't get nobody snitched on you?
Nah, man.
That's what's up. See, in my battery, we ended up having the most Article 15s in one day. Because we had a whole platoon that got fucking Article 15. And more than one. What ended up happening was we had this one dude that was doing that, hustling motherfucking porno magazines, motherfucking dip, candy, sodas, and that motherfucker was making bank. Well, somebody got caught up and they just straight out just snitched, bro. I'm talking about walking, pointing fingers like this person, and then next thing we know, we have the whole battery was out there, and they were just calling names up for Article 15s. And dude, Delta Battery 1 to 2 went down in history, bro. But man, I mean, I give it to y'all. Y'all motherfuckers were out there taking the risk.
I wish I could have gone back and viewed my ways. You had to get the contraband and had to hide the contraband to make sure she was good. But yeah, afterwards I went home for HRAP, did 2 weeks. That was cool. First duty station got up to Fort Lewis.
Okay.
And I did not know shit about the whole process. Like I got up there and I was like, hold on, how am I supposed to get to the actual duty station? Like I didn't know nothing about going to the USO.
Right.
I literally was at baggage claim, and there was this white lady with her daughter, and she was all like, hey, I looked lost. She was like, you need a ride? I was like, all right. They literally took me to her husband was stationed at Fort Lewis. So she drove me to post, and it was beautiful, man. Flying
nice.
I had never been like west of, even though I lived in Germany as a kid or whatever, like I had never been west of Kansas City. So seeing that side of the country,
yeah,
Mount Rainier right there, like Fort Lewis is beautiful. Like it's like it was a beautiful experience. So yeah, got there, got the reception. That was interesting.
Tell me how.
I got caught up because hanging out, going out drinking and shit.
Yeah.
So I end up having the bottle for whatever reason. I had the bottle in my bag, and I didn't take it out, and I left my bag somewhere. And of course, the NCOICs of reception, they called me in there and pulled out. I was like, oh shit! They smoked the fuck out of it. They literally were like using the pool table.
Yeah.
Whatever. When there was like everyone was like, how many push-ups I had to do. So there was that. They had to run around it. Then PT was like, that was my introduction to Real Army, man. Got a PT running around the airfield. My first duty station was 2-8 FA, part of 1st Brigade 25th ID.
Okay.
Yeah, and they just had got back from, I think it's OIF 05, I think 06. They was up in Missoula.
Okay.
When that rotation. So yeah, they got back. It was dope, man. It was like, these were like heroes in our eyes, man. These cats had just gone to war. Came back and they had all these stories.
You said they were in 25th ID? They were the one with the sword and the fucking
Nah, the Tropic Lightning.
Okay, that's them. See,
that's your Starberry. Okay. So yeah, 1st Brigade 25th ID. I know they got 25th ID up in
Alaska,
Hawaii.
Okay, because I was
Yeah,
thinking about the ones from the ones that were, I think, in Alaska. These motherfuckers were a striker brigade, and I think
yeah,
they were started getting recalled. They were sent home, and then it got recalled back to fucking back to Baghdad. Like,
yeah.
and what sucked was a lot of those.
They said people were on a plane and they turned it around. Those, yeah. So we were so they had just this is how fortunate I was. I was sent to that brigade.
Mm-hmm.
My partners got sent over. I went to base with. They sent over 2ID. So
Okay.
they, yeah, 4th Brigade 2ID. So then they deployed, and we moved to Germany. So what happened was we reflagged to 2nd Striker Cavalry Regiment, and then old 2SCR they reflagged to 4th Brigade 4th ID. I mean, no, 4th Brigade 2nd ID.
Okay, I see
And
what you're
so
saying.
then we moved over to Germany. So I
Right.
got a whole year and a half before I even deployed. Like we training together. We're
Mm-hmm.
all together. So that's what made that deployment a little bit more manageable.
Dude, so what year did you end up deploying?
I actually didn't go until August 2007.
So you were there in '07. Okay. Yeah, I had already gotten back because I deployed out there December '05, came back December '06. So I spent all '06 out there. That, like, you know how you were talking about when they had the wires to cut the gunners' heads off and shit like that. I was a lead gunner in my platoon, my gun truck platoon. So they had told us that, that's the shit that to look out for. They said 50% of us weren't gonna make it anyway. So, they pretty much they told us we gonna die. You know what I mean? As a gunner, you're gonna die. And they were saying piano wire was their favorite to hang off from on the highway. Then they had the snipers from Fallujah that had gotten to Baghdad. There was a video. I remember there was a video that was circulating of these motherfuckers just sniping fools out, man.
Yep, yep. I remember
And
them.
that shit, they showed us all that shit while we're out there, like, oh, well, thanks. I mean, it's great for the situational awareness, but I mean, yeah, man, once you get over there, it's a whole other world. Tell me, what was your thoughts like when you touched down? I'm guessing you went to Camp Buring, and then you went into where were you stationed at out there in Iraq?
Let me see. So we get the process. So I'm coming from Germany. Literally the week before I like literally a few days before I go, I had a one night so I banged out this German chick. I was like, let me get up out of here on a bang. But yeah, we flew it. We was out of Germany, so that made things simpler. Like we
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to go as far. So Germany, and then to Kuwait. So yeah, Virginia, Buring or Virginia? No, it's Buring there, Virginia on the way back.
Okay.
But yeah, got there and I'll never forget. Got there August of 2007. It was a 2007. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And man, I got off that plane in Kuwait, and I was like, "This is a fucking felt like a blow dryer." As soon as I got off the plane, I was like, "Oh man!" But literally, like, yeah, I never forget the night before we dipped out. I was scared as fuck, man. I could not sleep. I was all like, "All right, this is about to be real." So yeah, couldn't sleep, but then made the trip because once you start rolling, it's cool. But got off the plane. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, I'm private, so baggage detail.
Yeah.
Long night. Just go through Kuwait. It was different. It was hot as fuck. Because yeah, August, I ended up with some sort of like skin fungus on
Oh
my
shit.
ankle or something, and it was like swollen. So I had to go medic, but ended up clearing up. But I was like, dang, this was gonna be like. Um, but the first thing just having to get through my head was like, damn, I'm about to because they announced 15 months before. Like that's when we were like, all right, so you knew going in you was doing 15.
That's right. You were there for the fucking for the surge.
Yep, yep. I was
Okay.
actually we were actually supposed to go to Afghanistan,
Mm-hmm.
and they flipped our orders with 173rd, I think, or airborne unit with the Angel Wings or some shit.
Yeah, that's 173rd.
Yeah, so they switched it with us down there. So yeah, we ended up going all right, knowing we were gonna do 15. And yeah, before we dipped out, Sergeant Major's like, yeah, all y'all ain't coming back. So yeah, yeah, we get over there and you just once again you just going through the motions and
Mm-hmm.
you go to Kuwait, and then just train. Yeah, be on that heat, that sand,
The moon dust sound. Yeah. God damn.
shitty man, and then take that flight from Kuwait to no Baghdad, and
Okay. So
yeah, that
what
come
what
at the
file
same
were you at?
man. So I got there. first 5 we were at was Taji. So shout out to Sergeant Major Cook BFAT.
Okay.
So I was at Taji, and then so we were there from August to about December, and then they were like, all right, so we set up a JSS in between Taji and Liberty. So that was
Okay.
sometimes we would dip to Liberty, come back, and then shit was getting real up north.
Yeah.
About the latter half, we went up to Bakuba, so up at the Warhorse, uh,
Okay.
Warhorse, and then from there we set up a little cop. And that lasts 3 to 4 months, man. When you think you're supposed to be like chilling, they turn the tempo up on us.
Oh
Like
shit.
that last 3 months felt like a year.
You know, before we go into that, I think you were about to mention landing into Baghdad,
Yeah,
that combat landing. Do you remember how that combat landing felt?
fucked me up, man. It was so sudden because I'm like, at first like you're like scrunched up in the whole ride,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like dozing off or whatever, and then they don't even announce it, man. They just, dude. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
so this how it's gonna go.
For
But
real.
hey, I'm like, if I'm gonna die, first few weeks, this.
For real, dog. I swear to God, I remember that shit. We were coming in and we went in the C-130. It was just all cramped up in it like sardines and just like, oh shit, here it goes. Oh, fuck that,
Yeah,
man.
because like it was real because we got there because of course they had the infantry guys getting over first, so we're in Kuwait and we're hearing about them taking contact, all that
Mm-hmm.
shit. Like, so you're like, oh shit's getting real, and then you get
Mm-hmm.
in and it's real, it's peaceful. Like you're like, oh okay, like all right,
Mm-hmm.
years,
Where's all this shit I've been hearing about? All these bang bangs, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man. To me, like shit got real for me when I was in. Shit didn't really get real for me until I was in Kuwait up there in Buring, and I saw the manifest for the flights and
mm,
for the next day, and then I saw and they give us our initial load. Our 210 rounds. That's when oh shit, this is fucking real now. You're
yeah,
putting in those fucking rounds. These ain't blanks. These are real motherfucking rounds about to go into real bodies. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it makes you start wondering, like, fuck, Hey, I just realized I got a minute. So is it cool? I'm gonna send you another link, and we could because I'm too broke to.
I got you. No, you good. You good. You
So
good.
I'll shoot you the new link right now. All right, brother.
All right, bet.
All right, and we're back because y'all know my ass is a straight up broke motherfucker. So I send out links because I do not have the money to have that Zoom unlimited shit. With that said, we're over here with the homie Forrest, and as we were talking about, I'll talk about when shit got real. And I'll tell you what, the only one that I think there were only a few of our NCOs that had experience, going out over there. One
Oh,
of them was my Smoke Norwood, and
oh,
this man when I tell you, like he was the only experience he had was in the Gulf War,
okay.
right? So he pulled the whole platoon out there, and he was like, "All right, y'all gonna see some shit when y'all get out there. Y'all gonna see some shit." Like, and then he just looked off, like he was going back there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So from that day forward, every time I see somebody do that, I call it smoke eyes because smoke
yeah.
just like
They,
he went way back. But he put us in our plate, like, we're gonna go over there, we're gonna take care of what we gotta take care of, you know, and that's it. We just had to trust our NCOs and all that shit, man. That's when I make a big differentiation between the NCOs that I came up with to what the NCOs I ended up leaving out with. It was a
yeah.
big difference. But so when you did your tour out there, I'm sure any hardships that y'all had out there.
Um, Man, that was a all right. So we were being artillery unit. They had us. We weren't in the shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
like infantry guys or whatever. But we were around. Like it was more. We had to deal with mortars and IEDs. Like that
Okay.
was the main two things. Yeah, shit getting real. Was like for me was like that first ride,
Mm-hmm.
the first roll time rolling out. The first time our we got first time mortar, first time our uh platoon got hit by IED. But yeah, it was IEDs, mortars. Mortars were like, all right, you hear them, then you hear the vibrations. IEDs are like, you don't know when that shit's gonna hit. But I didn't get, I didn't get contact. Like that's when it got real. I
Yeah.
ain't faced no contact until, see, I was there August of '07. we didn't get contact until March of '08. Like that's when we taught our starter called off the ceasefire.
Yeah.
We got a call over the net, like, hey, they done taken over this police station.
Ooh.
So yeah, we come up on there and like it was just a wild day, man. So we set up out of court on 101st. They move up out of there. And like I next thing I know, it gets quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I see these feet over behind this gate, and I switch my 50. And mind you, I have a defective 50.
Oh
And like,
shit.
literally, I done broken this 50 down, I done cleaned it, I done put it together, I done broke it down, it took to the armor, they done sent it to, and that motherfucker literally just single shot. Whereas for civilians, like it's literally you supposed to be like do 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 do. I had a musket, dude.
Oh shit.
So I shot into the thing, and it's like good thing I ain't hit whatever. But like when you out there, you see stuff like, hey, it's too easy to kill, so like for real. And then so got quiet, and then this motherfucker, he's like, I literally have the picture. I gotta find. I wish I had it up here, but I got a picture, and it's like literally down there, motherfucker come around the corner, RPG set up, and literally that rocket was like literally slow motion. You could see the tail,
Mm.
literally almost the fins like going, and it went past my fucking because I'm in the gunner's hatch,
Yeah.
past my hatch, hits behind me, and I'm all like, fuck this 50. I put on my M4. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't
Hey, fucking with bro.
yeah, yeah. So and then you getting return fire, and it's literally like Black Hawk Down, man. It was like, hey, if it's a whiz, it's you hear, you good, but if
Mm-hmm.
it's snap, motherfucker right by your hair. So hear them snap
Bro.
like but the whole time you have no time to be scared. And that's what I preach about one being with guys who was a whole group of guys that had either been there before
Mm-hmm.
or cutting their dwell time short to come be with us,
Yeah. Yeah.
or you had maybe a private or specialist that had done maybe the last 3 months of the last deployment. So you had somebody like, all right, you had your training, then you had, motherfuckers in there. Like, if anything, they're not panicking. So
Mm-hmm.
on that. So like we take that out. We weren't out there long, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's how I earned my cab that day.
I appreciate that, man. I want a lot of people to understand out there too in the civilian sector, or for those that never been out to a combat theater. It's not always like they show on TV where you're taking contact every motherfucking day. It's just not. It's 90% of the time you're bored as fuck. And then maybe 95% of the time you're bored as fuck. And then 5% is chaos of like what the fuck is going on. But most of the time you're like so being an artillery unit, we didn't shoot artillery very often out there in Baghdad or in Iraq.
Yeah.
So they had us doing patrols, or fucking escort, and all that good shit. Our fob was it was fob Union 3. It was inside the IZ, inside the green zone. It was there. But our mission took us all over fucking Baghdad,
Right.
all the way as far south as Al Hilla and as far north. Well, we were supposed to go to Taji, but we ended up getting fucked up that day. That was my very first mission, and it set the tone for the rest of my fucking deployment, man.
Yeah.
It's a trip that those type of incidents, they put what you appreciate. I think, at least for me, I'll speak for myself. It made me appreciate what we have, well, hindsight being 2020, what I have now. You know what I mean? What do you think, or how do you think you managed to maintain your sanity out there without going insane? Like, how did you adapt to being in a situation like you were?
Um, I will say my dad beat my ass. Uh,
Yeah, I think that does help us a
that was
lot.
that was, that was my dad's form. I mean, I love it, man. Fuck with me a little bit, it was a little child abuse, but it literally, I think back, and that was a thing that kept my mind from. It makes you like it puts this force field in your brain. Like you'll still feel stuff, but
Mhm.
it's not gonna like because it's not gonna take you out. Um, yeah, that's what literally got me. Because I mean, I had my days, man, where I remember I used to have panic attacks before we go out, and I'm
Mhm.
just like pacing back and forth and just crying. Like I was like, because you was like, I don't, because there was literally an 11-day stretch one time when we were getting hit by everybody from our batteries getting hit, and so sometimes like I'll never forget even too going out before aerosol missions, like
Mhm.
fuck. But it was all like, you know what? I gotta suck this shit up and I gotta roll out because if I roll out, and for what I'm gonna tell him, like, hey chief, I can't go. It's like, why can't you go? Like my fucking pussy hurts.
Yeah, I got a little bit sandy vagina going on.
Saying too, it's like, oh, you don't, and then like, then yeah, you leaving your homies out there, and like, heaven forbid something happen, and
And
that's
then you weren't
wait,
there.
yeah, I'd rather deal with the bullshit and crying of beforehand than deal with the weight. Because yeah, even when I went to guitar, these are feelings like I had to learn how to like. I was like, oh shit, like literally, I went to guitar. I hadn't been in Iraq long, like, but I
Mhm.
got a guitar in October, and I was like, I was missing my brothers. Like,
So did you do that freedom rest? Is that what they were
yeah,
calling
yeah,
it?
yeah. I hit for a lick, man. I got to there, and I got to Iraq in August. I literally pinned specialists in October, and then
Yeah.
went out for that freedom rest. And
Nice.
yeah, that was dope. Actually, I got some pussy on that one, man.
I ain't mad at you, baby. Hey, let's not lie. Motherfuckers be creeping out there. Pussy is gonna be had if somebody's gonna. That's
Yeah,
another.
that was
That
the second when we talk about my second tour, man. That was the fun one.
shit. I tell you, me and Hunt, we get into some discussions about females in the military, and specifically on the gun line. I don't care about the military itself, but when we start getting about females on the gun line, that's a conversation that him and I highly disagree, and he's very open-minded to it. I'm very old school about it.
I'm
But
I'm open to it, but one, like, I know they ain't gonna be on the 155s. I think it's like I'm glad I'm not in,
mhm.
because I know all the shit that comes with it. I do see what they're doing. They're trying to be progressive, and I think we're gonna get our first woman president out of the. My prediction is she's gonna be out of the Marines, man. Like, if they anything, because she be like, I went to war, all this stuff like that. But I will say, like, you're coming into a man's game. Like, this is a man's game right here. Like, they talking about all the rapes. I'm like, we was raping each other. Like, one of my battles, he got raped. I was like, oh man, yeah, you had the booty bandit on redeployed.
Bro,
Stay with a
they don't want to talk about that though. They don't want to hear about
yeah,
that though.
like, yeah, half of I remember I forgot one year was 2014. They were like, out of all the sexual assaults, half of them were male on male. So I'm
Mhm.
like, what do you think is going to happen when y'all introduce women into the equation? Like,
But it's not even
yeah,
it's not even the sexual assault portion of the rape. Oh, thank God that you're not saying pew pew or grape and shit like that. Should be killing me on TikTok. Like, why these motherfuckers talk like that? Anyways, we talk like grown folk. But no, okay, we're gonna get a little political here just for a second, just for TT. The Democrats had the perfect fucking candidate 2 years ago instead of Sleepy Joe.
who?
Tulsi motherfucking Gabbard.
Uh,
Tulsi Gabbard, fucking army veteran.
hmm.
She's a fucking female minority, bro, right there. But she wasn't fucking following the plan of Hillary Clinton,
Hey,
so they were like, nope. She's the one that took out Kamala during the
and
debates.
and Hillary and this I even go deeper. Like, this is how, like, that's why Stacey Abrams lost. She was trying to dress like Hillary Clinton. That's one of
Mm.
I
I never noticed. You know what?
I
She did.
when I look at politics, that's what's funny, and this is why I'm very fearful of the state of America right now. It's like, we
Mhm.
can't even like I can't even, like, when I was doing jokes, I had to take a break from comedy because I was either gonna kill one of them motherfuckers or get to the point where it's gonna kill me. But I can't even say you can't even say the word trans.
Word.
Yeah, you can't even say, and these liberals, and that's the thing, annoying thing about liberals is because I'd rather deal with conservatives. Because, well, one, I grew up, my parents, my mom ain't vote Democrat till Obama, man. So
you
yeah,
know,
they about that money. I,
yeah.
I preach about I'm in the middle. Like,
Mhm.
the liberals are pushing me more to the right because they annoying. But conservatives, you know what you're gonna get. I know
Yep.
what I'm gonna get. I served. Yeah, you deal with them white boys in the army. You already know what time it is. It's them liberals that remind me so much of. They remind me of my enemy in Iraq. Like, you don't know who, because like you're like these causes they fight for. I'm like, you'll pass up all these homeless people for this, or you'll try to limit. And then what pisses me off is limiting speech.
Yep.
I'm all like, and that's what I had an incident with that, and I'm all like, I don't care. Like, I fought for the right for a person to say anything. Now, where you say it, now you're gonna have to deal with the consequences of that.
Exactly.
But you have the right to say anything. Like that's the one of the most beautiful rights ever. And for you to like, and that's where I get personal and that's where I get very emotional about it
Yeah.
because I have literally lost buddies. Like, and then the sacrifices, like I literally like, bro, like I've literally lost like 3 homies in the last year, and 2 of them were black. Like, so brothers, if we killing ourselves, this is you suicide. You can look at the number, you some white boy shit. But like, so it's like when people just say, "Hey, you can't say this," I'm like, "Why?" No, this is like I look at America, and it's very because being black, you're like you get pissed off at America a lot.
Mhm.
You're like, all right, because being in the army, you get to see what it's like with very like the racism. It's still there, but it's decreased. And you're like, if we just would just get together, if we and I look at the lens of like I see what America for what it is, but I also see it for what it could be.
It could be,
And
yeah.
that's what keeps me from having heart attacks. That's what keeps me from hating all white people.
Mhm.
Because I know I've got my brothers, man, that hold on to that hope. So yeah, liberals, I'm like, man, shut up. I'm pretty sure like Kamala Harris is having an orgasm every time a black dude gets locked up right now. Like look at the numbers. Like this is but I don't know. I just like to have fun. I just like to like poke at the bear a
Oh
little.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. So you do comedy too?
Well, yeah. I'm taking a break right now.
Okay.
Very much hiatus. That's the thing after I've gotten out is to be very mindful of my mental health
Oh
because
yeah.
I like my mental health is my priority. It has gotten dark for me before. Like it's gotten, I think it was at survivor's guilt. It
You got
was it was
mhm.
that was like the worst. I've had like I had a partner. What's his name? So putting it out there. I'm just putting the name out there because I know
Yeah.
he's going to major the army one day. McLaurin, William McLaurin, and he, black dude, fucking solid cat, man. We was in my second tour. It was a little bit easier one, 2010, dying down.
Okay.
We was down in Adder slash. No, I was in Gary Owen, but I had moved up to Toledo by the time.
Where's
But
Gary Owen at?
Gary Owen was like more closer to the Iran border, like to Crete, that area.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because on my second one in 2010, I was in Mosul.
Okay. Yeah,
We're getting
yeah. It was
fucked
wild.
up out there.
It was easy, but it was one soldier shot himself 3 weeks in.
Oh,
But, hey.
fuck.
But yeah, but McLaurin, man, Mac, we got word like he got snipes like through his ass cheeks, man, because he was the only black dude in his platoon. That's why I tell you, man, first day of basic, you learn brothers really don't mess with combat arms. It was like 150 of us in basic, it was like 9 of us black dudes. But yeah, he was the only. Yeah.
You just touched on something that I always point out. So, for example, I don't give a fuck people hate me or not for this shit, but if you look at airborne artillery, if you look at light artillery units, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be heavy on the non-diverse side. You go to a paladin unit.
All the brothers is in paladin.
Yes, y'all
all the brothers,
are.
all the Mexican, all the essays. Oh, that light world is woo,
Bro,
yeah.
tell me why all the chiefs, all the smokes in the paladin unit, they all black. All of them. But you go to a motherfucking light unit, they all light, like white.
Yeah. Real quick before I forget, man.
Yeah,
Bro,
man, go ahead.
he got shot through the ass.
Yeah.
He literally came back about a few months later and then got shot through the ribs.
Get the fuck out.
Right through the flat. That part.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, man, this dude is literally he done came back like he a cyborg. He done gone through drill sergeant school. Is he a command sergeant major yet? I gotta check on Facebook, but I'm pretty sure. All right, he's on that trajectory.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see, yeah. The people you come across in the army, man.
It amazes me because, like, I mean, I know that, going through boot camp, going through my units that I've been through, you can see who the shitbags were, and you can see who those that you knew were gonna make something out of it, and those are where they're at now. Like the motherfuckers that were like, oh, I'm only gonna do 4-6 years and I'm out. Motherfuckers are now first sergeants. You know what I'm saying? Getting out. I'm getting ready to drop my retirement packet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
and I think because I've been out 10 years.
Mm.
I celebrated 10 years in January. And
Oh, word.
first you try to downplay it, but then you're like, all right, motherfuckers, yeah. But the further I've got away from it, the more like compassion I even have for the shit bags that I serve with. Like, cause
Mm.
you realize how much I try to think about people, tell people like, think about it, like, think about what was going on, like what it does to people mentally. Like, you think you want to be and do something, but then you get there, you're like, all right, I ain't totally built for it, but I'm stuck. So it's all like you kind of. I've learned to even It's like I've done so much work to like, and it's still constant work of like trying to understand like what I experience.
Yeah.
Start to like just think about just even the different people I serve with, like try to look at things from different perspectives and like, all right, okay, this is what,
Respect that.
like, even I never forget, we had it was like a couple of stand-up dudes towards the end of our 15-month deployment.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up getting caught up with some drugs. And I was all like, you think in the moment, oh, how could you do it? But then you think about it, dog, we was over there 15 months, man. Like, even if y'all haven't watched it, everybody needs to watch that 20-year anniversary.
I saw it, the one from New York Times.
Yeah, I cried through that one, man. And it was just all like I had so much like Virgo, bro, Hunt. Like that made me, y'all be the you dudes. Like all everybody that went before me. Oh man. And man, you just understand the sacrifice, man.
You
Like
know,
you just really like,
I
yeah,
really I really wish Hunt would have been here for this one because one thing that he has on us is that he was there for the initial push. You know what I mean? From
yeah.
the get-go. And it's funny that we're talking about this right now because as I was picking up my daughter, and this is like I told you, man, we get into it and we start talking about one thing and jump all over the place. But I was in the parking lot earlier picking up my daughter, and I recorded this shit and I put it on the TikTok world and YouTube's I was sitting there thinking like, what did we get out of this war? Like 20 years of war, what did we get out of it? I mean, and I said, like, the one thing I know I got was an appreciation for life and really good friends. Other than that, I didn't get a fucking thing. And
Not quite.
so,
Oh, go ahead.
no, no, no. I was just thinking, like, what the fuck did we get out of it? Because there was nothing. We have nothing tangible for it. Afghanistan is by far worse.
Mhm.
And then Iraq, it seems to be getting better, supposedly, but that's not even due to us, you know?
Did you go to Afghan?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. How was that?
So my experience differed than a lot of other folks. My experience was training the Afghan artillery.
Okay.
So yeah, we got there, and the mission that they put myself and a couple of other NCOs on was to learn the Russian howitzer, the D-30,
Mhm.
and they gave us about a week or two to learn how to fucking operate that. Just reading Russian shit, and
Oh,
then
you know
trained it.
super Leg, like, bro. You got international fucking guns on your fucking.
Yes, sir. So
Go
I
ahead, go
learned
ahead.
how to. Yeah, so that was in 2012. But I wanted to go to Afghanistan because I wanted to give a kill count rack from shooting the 119ers. But unfortunately, I didn't get that opportunity. So I went to a fob out there, which was not a fob, a cop fucking a Monty, where my homeboys were at, but I didn't get to shoot artillery like all artillerymen want to do is shoot artillery in combat. That's like the shit to do. You look at Vietnam movies, motherfuckers out there just in their flak jackets, fucking just firing shit. I love that shit.
Bro,
So,
I get. There's a scene in We Were Soldiers,
mm-hmm.
and the Vietnamese are talking about the fucking artillery is fast,
Yes.
accurate, and I literally damn near bust a nut. I'll play it back 20 times. But yeah, yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, because I tried to go to I was more of a deployment soldier,
Yeah.
and I tried to go with our SFAT team to Afghanistan.
Mm,
They were like, "Hey, nah, bro, you need to go learn how to be a chief."
gotcha.
Remember, and that's one of my, like I said, I don't live with regrets, but if I had to do it over again, I just want the taste of shooting the combat round. That's it.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
a drug. It's that,
Getting
yeah.
that getting that fuck and then keeping that canister and shit.
But
Like so I know so I got to fire some rounds when I was in Mosul. We were fucking firing for the cavalry out there, whatever or whatnot. But it was to me, it wasn't a tick. If it wasn't a tick, it doesn't really count. You know what I mean? But
right,
I did keep a canister from when I was firing the D-30s from the Russian ones. Those are just like my war trophies. You know what I'm saying? And but I thought that we were actually doing something because these motherfuckers were gonna stand up for themselves when the time came. As we saw, old Sleepy Joe pulled us out, and the Taliban just said, "Thank you." But yeah, man, that'll
was,
be that's another topic, I guess, for another day.
yeah, no, I have turned into that conspiracy theory vet that spends way too much time on Reddit.
Yes.
Because I used to think that 9/11 was like the 9/11 conspiracy folks. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Mm.
And I was like, hold on, we pulled out of Afghanistan, and now there's a heroin shortage. I was like, oh shit, this
Mm.
goes deeper.
Don't go down that rabbit hole, man. Don't,
It's
it's not good for the mental
it,
health.
it helps. It's all I just like to play with it, but
Yeah.
I think but people, and I almost got in an argument with Uber, just so I can't do Uber.
Mm.
I almost got in an argument with a passenger because he was all like, we started talking about the war. He was like a civilian. I think he was from one of them Arab countries, not Iraq,
Mm.
but so he was like more personal, whatever, hating Saddam.
Yeah.
And he was all like, yeah, y'all need to go over there because they had the weapons. And I was like, no, they didn't. I was like, there's not, no. But they were gassing the Kurds. I was like, yeah, because, yeah, he was using our weapons. He was like, I was like, Iraq was the reason why I have no trust. Like, I have a little faith in the government because of certain things. I have no trust in the government because Iraq was hands down the bitches. Oh,
Bro, it was an
that's
illegal war.
like, it was a personal vendetta. That's all
Yeah.
it was.
It was an illegal war, started over fucking lies. And, I was thinking about that too. This was going to be a topic that I was going to talk about next week was like, if I can go back to tell my younger self before I joined the military, because I joined because I wanted to be a soldier. Since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a soldier. Then the war kicked off. I joined in late. I was 26 when I came in. But
Okay.
the reason I couldn't get in was because back then I had a felony.
Okay.
So they wouldn't take me in. But once the war kicked off, oh, you got a felony? No problem. We got you. We got you.
I think the only felonies they weren't accepting was arson. It was arson, probably first degree murder,
Mm.
and domestic violence. Only
Mm-hmm.
because of that.
You can't, Laudenberg.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm just gonna put it out here because it needs to be talked about. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I should have not been on Lineberg because, bro, I had an anger issue. Woo.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I had an anger issue. I'm only talking about this stuff because I've seen it in the middle, being on both sides.
Yeah.
You see the holes in the wall, and you see the anger. But man, it was 2 times. I had just got back from basic, and like we weren't on good terms. I snapped. I'm trying to use the rules I use on her. They called the cops on me. I should have probably get in jail, but they were like, "Hey, you gotta, Mills, you finish ship out. Hey, bro, to stay away."
Mm.
Second time though, I'm just getting off that 15-month deployment, and once again, she said something. She was all like, "I wish you would have died over there," and I was like, "Bitch, I almost did," and I blacked out. And next thing I know, like I'm choking the fuck out of her. I was trying to
Yeah.
kill her. And the only reason I talk about it is because I know domestic violence. We got to start talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
It's happening out here, and also I've seen it. These soldiers, man, like that. Yeah, you soldiers pulling up to work, got scratches on their face. You going up in the houses, house torn up.
And
When we got back, man.
no, and that brings up a great point too. A lot of these soldiers are like, why are you so up into my business? Why are you all up in my business as an NCO? Because we need to know what's going on at home. You know what I mean? We need to know why you all up on my finances? Because we need to know. We're the ones that get those fucking letters from the goddamn Star
You ever get
card.
an Omni loan?
Huh?
You ever get Omni loan?
Oh God, I'm not gonna lie. I got one. I ain't gonna lie. Except mine was who was it through? I forgot who it was, but it was one of those off post motherfucking loans. I did it, but I'll tell you what. There's this thing that soldiers need to trust their NCOs. You know what I'm saying? And you got to build that trust. And I was all up in my soldiers' business. I was. I had one that was spending his money on fucking webcam girls, but he couldn't pay his motherfucking bills. So had to cut all his shit out, bro. That's
Did
why I
you
was.
prefer having married soldiers or single soldiers?
Which is worse?
Which did you prefer?
Ooh, ooh. Oh, that's a tough one. I would go with single soldiers, single, because married soldiers, I can't tell your wife how I really feel. You know what I'm saying? Because there's that respect boundary. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you better tell your wife something before I do. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's just
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a tough one, man. That's a good question. That is, I'm gonna have to use that one. Gun to
Yeah.
your head. You want to fucking have a platoon of single soldiers or a platoon of married soldiers?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I say the best leadership advice it was two pieces of advice in the army. One, I had a smoke before I dipped out of Germany. He's like, don't ever take no for an answer. And then two, I had another smoke at Carson. He was all like, that rank on your chest does the talking for you. Like he was like, you see all them NCOs are yelling and all that abuse and feel like they got put hands on soldiers. I said, yeah, they don't like you lead from the front. You leave like that's the thing. You learn how to lead from the front and lead from the back. Like you got to learn how to be the example, and then also to come back and motivate your soldiers and like have them buy in. Like
yeah.
and also like being yeah, bro, like that's what I talk about. Like the thing that was the pivot and shit and woke my ass up in the army was because I was skating by. Like I was skating by on being smart, you know, all that shit. But man, once I got out there and fell on my ass and got 4 blocked, I had the sergeant major in my gun. Like I know, yeah, I had my number one, my gunner, like, hey, take apart the breech. My breech, like my gun, number one, like, I don't know how to take it apart. He's like, well, yeah. Looking in sergeant major, if you, it's the closest thing. It's like that's the closest thing to embarrassment, right up there with reader piece, face to piece.
Ooh.
Yeah. I got decertified. I got because what happened was I never was never a gunner. Like I
Right.
never did chief stuff. Like I got back from Iraq. They sent me to ALC.
Yeah.
Um, and then went through that. I never shot like actual, you know, on that. So threw me out there.
What?
And then of course I didn't know how like it's like you go in, it's like one is pride, and there's two, you don't know to ask the right questions.
Mm-hmm.
Three, you have, you know, not the supportive, like I had a toxic NCO. And so, but it taught me a lot of shit. So like with that experience, I got 4 blocked. Yeah, man, that last year was hard, man. I was going through a divorce. I got
Damn.
4 blocks. Yeah, I got 4 blocks. This was 2011 when they were kicking motherfuckers out for anything. Yeah, 2012, 11. So I got 4 blocks. Barred from reenlistment. Yeah, and barred from reenlistment.
Ooh.
And yeah, I almost yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get my section taken away from me. That was the only thing that was my saving grace.
Yeah.
Oh, I fought to like I at the time I thought I was going to try to make a career. I thought I was going to try to go to like just get out of the line for a little bit, go down to Polk, be an OC, you know, do that like, and then you know whatever, kind of do the whole army reset.
Right.
But yeah, I fought to get back in. I was able to do after I certified. Like again, that was one of the best moments. But I went home on leave, and then I came back. I had 6 months, and I was all like, "Damn!" Out of the 7 years that I've been in, like I've been gone overseas, like about over half of it. My kids are grown up. Me and that relationship is all like, you know, not really there.
Right.
My back was starting to like show signs of deterioration. Like I was like, when it hit me when it's time to go, when I fell out of a brigade run,
Mhm. Oh shit.
yeah. When I fell out of a brigade run, I was like, you know what? The game. It's like, and it's frustrating because you're like mentally, you're like, I could still do this for, I could shoot for like, mm, let me take some of that back because it was because once again, thanks a lot, Obama. Fucking phrases, downsizing the army,
Oh, gotcha.
taking you go to the field, they taking out of your check for them MREs.
Oh yeah. They take your BAS out and shit.
Yeah, I used to come back from the field and literally only have one soldier, and I gotta clean my gun, my cat, the next gun and cat over because all my soldiers cycled off a red cycle. Like,
Oh,
man, fuck
gotcha.
Obama, man.
Let me ask you something, man, real quick.
I was excited when he got elected because we got a black president, man.
Right.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh no, baby. When did you go to LC?
I went to LC. So I just got back from Iraq in 11. So yeah, 2011.
Dude, we probably was there at the same time. I swear to God, because you do got a familiar face.
Okay, were we was it the on post one? They came out, they sent the mid team out.
Oh, so you did yours in Carson?
Yeah.
Okay, you must have been there with Watts then.
Probably
What?
so.
Because Watts was doing ALC there, I'm sure. Because I remember, I seen him there, And Watts was one of my homeboys off from Korea.
Right.
And then he went to SEAL just recently. No, he's in SEAL now. He's a sergeant first class now. So
When we get offline, I'll tell you my last name and then
yeah, I got you.
names out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, because no, when I was okay, so you did the one that went to Carson. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, they did. Yeah, phase 1 and 2.
Okay. Dude, I missed that shit. Having ALC, well, back then it was called BNOC. When I first went, it was BNOC phase 1, and then you had BNOC phase 2, which is what ALC turned into one whole thing, which they fucked it all up. I think the Army's gone the wrong way. They're gone into a corporate fucking way, and it's just fucking sucks balls.
I hated it because we were still on. Like, I wanted to go away and like get that experience, but once again, it's all post. And you're like, oh, do we check back in? Like, you really. It was funny. I almost got kicked out of ALC, bruh. Oh man, I'll tell you, bro, you get too promoted too quick. But hey, I was fucking with this chick, and like I end up got drunk over at her place, and like the NCO, my platoon sergeant at the time, he hit me up. I was like, bro, I was like, just I'll tell him I fucked up. Like I'll go in, and I'll just say, hey, I fucked up. But he was all like, no, I'll tell him like your kids are in town, and this and this and that's happened. I was like, don't do that, man. But he did it anyways. And so now they're like, why was he? And I'm like, bro, like man, when I fuck up, I own up to my shit. Like,
take responsibility, right?
except for that DUI that I got. Well, I kind of did, bro. Like, I literally pinned E6 in no, I pinned E6 January 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I got a DUI February 2000, right afterwards. But it was off post.
Mm-hmm. You had to go to that veteran court right there in downtown Colorado.
Yeah, it was off post. Fortunately, like, I was in the barracks, and my smoke, he was active first sergeant at the time. And so he was like, hey, yo, we could do this one or two ways. Like I can tell, and you just deal with that, or we keep this on the rug, and you just keep your mouth shut, do your time. But it's like if you get found out, I gotta do my job. So I was like, hey, I'll just take the other option. So kept on the wraps, had my life suspended while I was in Iraq. Yeah, that was a $3,000. Woo, yeah, never again, never.
Bro, you know how I know? Because I know, I know. All right,
bro. But I remember the good old days. You get 3 of them things, you was good.
Yeah, I mean, they used to be "fuck up to move up."
But
they used to be the phrase.
I got so scared. I know we got to wrap up here in a few.
Oh no, we good.
You good? You good? Okay, yeah. So I was so scared, man. I got called up. I'll never forget. I was at which gate was that?
Which one?
Gates. One of the
there's the one gates. There's the one off of B Street.
Not the front gate, the side gate.
See, I only know the main gate. Then there was the one the B Street gate that goes right off to that ghetto ass place.
I think the B Street. No. It was the one before that. It was before B Street, or was it B Street? I'll probably B Street.
So you have to come down Academy, right? And then, God damn, I can't even remember. It's been a hot minute. Yeah. But yeah, they caught me, bro. I was coming down Academy. I went down the main Garrison Drive. I was going straight down it.
You got it on post?
Huh?
You got it on?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My commander had to go and pick me up. Oh yeah. But I got an RFC for that. I'm a motherfucking SCOER, relief for cause. I got a motherfucking GOMAR. Then I had to go do the community service bullshit. But it never popped up on my record, bro. It never popped up on my record. On my jail record or anything like that.
Yeah, mine was I just plead down to reckless driving. Like
that's what they got me for. That's what it was. Reckless driving.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh no. Driving while ability impaired. That's what they got me with.
I got caught up on Tejon. No, not on Tejon. I was dropping my partners off on Tejon, and they were like, in my freaking battle, he was like literally said beforehand, I was like, I had a dream about arrested. Oh, bitch. And I should have stayed with him, but want to go home. And I was literally like 0.04 over the limit.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, I had to keep that thing under wraps. And then trying to get all them hours, like the education and therapy. But
so check this out. I'm going to have to send you one more link out if you don't mind. Because what I do want to delve in a little bit on, if you got time. You got time?
Yeah. Okay. This is a great iteration we roll.
Okay, cool. What I want to get into now is going to be a little bit what you touched on earlier about the demons and shit like that. Going through those mental health and like what do you do to cope, or how have you been coping? Because I think that's one of the things about this podcast that I enjoy, that some people reach out and they're like, hey man, that last episode that really got that I could relate to him. So hearing him, shit like that. And that's the whole purpose of this shit. Yeah, it's to shoot the shit, but it also to let motherfuckers know out there you ain't suffering alone. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't mind that.
No, you good. You good.
All right, cool. We got about 2 more minutes before I have to send you the new link. I just want to get that out ahead of time.
Okay, you good. You good. All right, bet.
So, now, I do see that you partake in some herbal
The sweet
remedies.
Yeah.
Do you partake in any other edible arrangements to help with any mental health issues?
I really don't rock with the edibles too much anymore because they're too hit or miss.
Oh, okay.
I've had experiences where I was like, I don't like the way I feel. I do I'll take like shroom stuff here and there. That's really helped. And then of course the herbals, just because and I do need to some point get a medical card just for that. It's just really, and we could, you know what, I'll save that for the mental health piece.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I appreciate that, because that's one of the things that, I really wish that the government would I hate the fucking government.
I want to, that's what I need to get vested. We veterans need to get together, and just even if it's like, yo, like we need to get together and work together for these certain things. Like I feel like marijuana should be for cannabis for veterans, and also like they trying to take our benefits. And then three, we still don't have a fucking memorial.
Bro,
I know it's like a January 6th rally, but I don't care. I want my and throwing the Gulf War vets with that too, because I feel they get left out. Like,
you know what, dude? You have mentioned so many of the things that I really like to talk about, and we're gonna hit all those in the next episode, or on the next link that I'm gonna send you out. Gunline, thank you for hanging out with me for so long, but we're gonna keep on going. It's gonna take about a minute or two for here between me and him. It'll be about a second of a skip for y'all. I will send this link out to you right now. All right, brother?
This meeting is being recorded.
I knew that bitch was gonna start talking again. All right, so we're back. So check it out. As y'all see, we got the good old co-host, motherfucking Hunt is back on here. Those locks looking luscious. Looking trans now, looking like a trans man. Are you gonna be on Bud Light now?
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Man, listen, I was gonna say something about Adam Calhoun and shit being a fucking Chad, but I'm gonna say that for later. Fucking, he's a piece.
Isn't he a singer?
Yeah. I don't know who the fuck that cuck is, but he's a piece of shit.
Is it because he's white? All right, so Hunt's gonna go probably take a piss or something. We're gonna grab a beer or a drink. So before the break, we were talking about we were mentioned, I knew he was gonna get a drink. Before the break though, we were talking about
the memorial.
Yeah. Like a Gulf War memorial, a Iraqi War memorial. I've been thinking of that myself. Like, I wonder how long after the Vietnam War did they end up getting a memorial?
I think it was like, Vietnam ended like 70, because my dad joined like right after Vietnam.
So the war officially ended in 75.
He got their memorial in like the 80s. I want to say 88, late 80s. If my memory, like, don't quote me, but like it was relatively, and you think like in totality, like Vietnam was like it was over 10 years.
Oh, way over, yeah.
Yeah, way over. But yeah, it's all like, I don't, where's like somewhere in the memorial is just for closure.
Yeah.
Like they have these little memorial here and there. Like I ain't trying to do that. It's a place, like I feel like it's just for closure. Like I can go and I feel like I've been carrying, man, like I think because I had put away a lot of stuff I ain't talk about, and then that 20-year anniversary shit, it just set off a whole. And then when I was in yours and you was talking about, forgive me if I get emotional, man, but like you was talking about your experience, and I just like, you just appreciate your brothers and sisters that much more. It's like they put in all this work, and so like, yeah, that was just like everything's lined up. But yeah, it was all like, bro, like I'm like, I think at some point I'm gonna get into like group therapy.
Yeah.
And just talk it out, because I was like, bro, I'm like, it's like all this shit you just pack away.
and that's one of the most dangerous things we can do as veterans is push it on a back burner. You know, I was once someone that was against group therapy because I thought it would be a like a pissing contest. You know what I mean? Because when you've been there and done that, you'll want to call some motherfuckers out, like my co-host did here about a couple of years ago on someone, and still went ham on them. But no, it's definitely true, man. One of the things that we end up doing, and I was thinking all this shit that we're talking about right now, I swear to God, I was thinking about it in the parking lot. Was like, you know, like, where's the apathy come from? Are we trying to convince ourselves that we don't give a fuck when we say we don't give a fuck? Are we just saying that because we're trying to convince ourselves so that we could stop hurting, you know? And you know,
I will say, I mean, I know it's gonna look like a January 6th rally down there when, you know, we finally do get a memorial, but I mean, it's
Patriot Day.
I didn't care. That's my brother, man. I don't care who, like, I don't care who I think that bond was so deep. I don't care. Like, I'm still gonna love my brother. I ain't gotta like agree with everything.
Oh yeah.
You gotta like whatever, but even now I got like my roommate in Iraq that pulled his M4 on me. I had to beat his ass real quick. Yeah, like the pressure got too much for him, and I was all like, because his room was nasty, and I'm all like, hey man, we getting smoked for this.
You gotta pick your shit up.
He pulled that M4 out, and I was like,
oh, hell to the nah.
Yeah, he tried. I was like, oh man, I hopped over there with like ding ding ding. And, but he transitioned now, and like that's a person. Like, yeah, I reached out to just to say, hey, what's up? You know, what's going on? You know, and they ain't reach out back. But I'm just glad, like, as long as you're alive, that's all I care about.
You know, Hunt, myself, and a couple of others are some of the few that we still, I mean, I know I keep in contact with from my time in the military. So I'm definitely glad for that. Hunt, let me ask you, what would a G Watt memorial look like?
Oh man, y'all are finna hate me for this. I don't know, man. Maybe because and once again, man, this is no disrespect to anybody.
He's gonna pull it up right now. What I told you about earlier. Go ahead.
No, I told you, man. Listen, I'm a very person that's like, I feel you, man. Like, I don't think that I would have. I guess you could say I would appreciate one. I would respect it, but I don't want to just. I don't know, man. For the people that need that closure, I'm all for it. For the people that want to honor their fallen brothers, I'm all for it, man. I would never step on anybody doing that shit. It's kind of like how I feel about being a patriot, how I feel I'm not a patriot because I served, and how I think that other people that served are patriots. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about the memorial. No, that's how I feel about the memorial.
I understand that, like, different with. I thought you're gonna go like, well, I was in the initial push. I was in the initial
Hey, baby, listen. That was, you talking about 20 years ago. That initial invasion was 20 years ago.
I just thought about it. The memorial was like T-walls.
For real. Yo, T-walls, a duck and cover bunker, up armored Humvee, and a green beans.
That's it,
bro. Yeah, bro. Oh, and a Cinnabon. But bro, you should have seen this, right? That, like, we were getting ready to fucking leave, and then like we were, and like everybody was out there. The whole battery was out there. It was nighttime. We was packing up shit, bro. We was in Baghdad, and we was just getting ready to leave. Everybody just bullshit, laughing around. And all of a sudden, boom, man, the shit started blowing. Yo, when I say you see motherfuckers just running and sliding under LMTVs and trying to rush in the contest.
Roaches.
I was first tour. We was in the tents to go home. I'm leaving the DFAC from Warhorse. Hear the rockets, dude, and I'm like, God, no. I'm not you supposed to take me out in the beginning of deployment. I 4-2-40 to a bunker, made it back to the tent. It was like, everybody good? They was all like, anybody get hit? They was like, yeah, it was our relieving unit. It was like, good. All right, shit. Motherfucker.
Damn. See, I think that's what said.
If you got, you wanted that joke in the first couple weeks,
bro. And it's funny you say that. My first mission that I ever went out on was on January 5th, 2006. And these cats, it was their last mission. They were from 176 FA out of Fort Stewart. And that was their last mission. We were going to Camp Taji and back. And complacent as fuck. They were supposed to fly out, those cats that were with us, they were supposed to fly out in 3 days. And notice I said supposed to. On the way up there, got hit with 2 EFPs. We got fucked up. And it killed Sergeant Lopez and it killed Dot Walker. And that day set the tone for the rest of every deployment that I was on, because am I glad that it happened? No, but I can appreciate, the corniness of the master resiliency training to hunt the good stuff. The one thing I could find good out of that is that it kept me from becoming complacent, because when they say complacency kills, that showed it right there. These motherfuckers were complacent as fuck. Oh, it's a routine mission. We're just going to go up there. We're going to go to the PX and come back down and blah, blah, blah. Didn't work out that way, bro.
And for the people, explain what EFP is.
It's an explosively formed projectile. So what it is a copper plate that's placed in the canister that's full of I guess C4 or some shit. And what it does when it goes boom, that copper plate turns into a slug, and it's got enough strength to penetrate your armor, but not enough to come out the other side. So what it does, it ricochets and ping pongs in there inside of the fucking Humvee, and it'll slice you the fuck up. Now, it would be nice if they only just used one, but these motherfuckers put 6, arrays of 6. And I do got to give credit where credit is due. So 277 Field Artillery, we came up with the first countermeasure for that shit. Our mechanics made this thing called a rhino arm, which back then was just a big black fucking piece of metal on it. The mechanics put a ammo box.
That glow plug.
Yep, they put an ammo
glow plug in that bitch.
A glow plug inside the ammo box, and then a piece of metal on top and a piece of rubber on the bottom to simulate the Humvee.
Yep.
And they made it 9 feet long. So that was 277. That was our shit. We invented that shit.
The origin of the Rhino.
Bro, and that shit worked. I think it was Golf Company that got hit.
Golf Company got hit. Yep. Golf Company was the only one that got hit within the battalion after we relieved those people that got hit.
Bro, you could see the ammo cans just slugged in like, God damn, that would have fucked them up. So credit where credit is due. They saved lives. But the Hajis, for those motherfuckers that don't know, those motherfuckers are smart, because once they realized that it was in the front, all they did was put the sensor, leave it where it was at, and they just angled the motherfucking the canisters to shoot into the Humvee. But damn, we went all sidetracked on it. So T-walls, that would be a good one. I don't know.
I would love to see it. Listen, like I said, man, I would go visit it, but I just would feel like that's more for everybody else and not for me. I would go see it, but I would feel like this is for not only the people that lost their lives, but the ones that came back and that are real fucked up mentally and physically. I would say this is for them. I would go see the 101st exhibit at there, and hopefully they got a picture of me and that bitch, do my thing, 101st baby.
Got to pull up with your leather jacket.
yeah.
This mother. Nah, man. I think honestly, the what I could see, what I would love to see as a memorial would probably be like just a Humvee, and then under the cross sabers. Because
we're doing a hard soft shell.
Yeah, I was in there. I was like 2003. Like, I really wish I'd have been here earlier. Yeah, but like 2003, that's when we rode up in, man.
So yeah, just 1114. What is it, 1114? The one that
that's with the armor, the first
armor, that didn't work with the shit. We still had to put more armor on top of that shit.
Well, here's the deal, bro. You're an artist. I've seen your drawing. You could come up with a concept idea.
Yeah.
And then send that to Congress. You come up with a concept idea for what it should be. There's no reason to stop you.
Yeah. Damn. Thanks for that. Yeah.
So for real.
How was y'all transition? Like, cause you got out 2015. Damn.
Yeah, I got out in 15, and thank you for that segue. That was tight. I like how you did that.
I got you.
But yeah, fucking I got out in 15, man, and I tried for 8 years to assimilate, into the civilian world, and I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to be your typical PTSD story or anything like that. I don't even tell people about that shit. You know what I mean? Those that know, and those that don't need to know,
Mm-hmm.
But I did it for 8 years, and it was taking its toll on me. Because I was spending more time trying to succeed in the world of life, the game of life, instead of in the game of family. You know what I mean? So they were getting the shittiness from me, and I hit depressions that were hard, bro. And having to put that fucking face on like everything's all crimson and clover, it didn't work for me, man. I hit a depression about 3 years ago. It was really bad, really fucking bad. I mean, and the only way that I could find myself really elevating myself from it was therapy. The one thing I didn't want to do was group therapy, and I gave it a shot, and I appreciated that. And the podcast, because the podcast, I coined it like it's my therapy without the therapist. You know what I'm saying? So I got people like Hunt that I reach out to, or our homeboy Kowalczyk, and that's what really helps me. How about you, Hunt? When you got out, like I'm sure that we've all had our demons. If you wouldn't mind sharing any hardships that you've had and how you deal with them. Well, that's how I ended up dealing with it too. A lot of alcohol. But
so I mean, it was like, I think to me it was good because like before I even got out, like I had got to a point. Okay, now I'm finna get real personal. 11 years ago, I almost killed myself. Like I had, to my head, I was on the phone with my ex. She was my wife at the time, and right before I pulled the trigger, I moved the gun away from my head. This was when I was at Fort Sill, and luckily for me, like I knew at that point that like, I need to do something about this. And so from that point, that's when I really started going to therapy heavily. So I've been going to therapy on a regular basis for, like I said, 11 years now. So the transition was a hell of a lot easier for me, to try to, because I've learned certain coping skills to do things with. And I guess, the fact that I was just completely tired when I got out. I was like, fuck this shit. And I still do counseling today, to this day.
How many
I'm sorry?
How many deployments did you have?
Man, what's crazy? Like I get them regularly. Like especially like last year, there was I had an appointment every fucking month.
Deployments.
Yeah. Deployments. I had 4.
Okay. Yeah, I had 2.
So yeah, I was in 03 to 04, 5 to 6, 8 to 9, and 10 to 11.
Okay.
It's funny how you were mentioning earlier about you get into units where you replace them and they replace you. So after I left 277 and I went to Mosul, him and the unit kind of replaced us over there in Mosul. And then after that, when I was in Afghanistan, their unit from Afghanistan 582 kind of replaced us from up there as well and shit. So it's a trip, man, how small this world is. But yeah, back to the dealing with shit, man. Do you smoke some of that Herbalife, Hunt, or are you not allowed to say if you partake?
No, I can say it. Like, no, listen, I've had some gummies, and like even like a 5 milligram put me on my ass where I was like, thought I was gonna die. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm not doing this again. So I can't do the herbal shit. You know what I'm saying? But like last time I really smoked, my homegirl used to live down the street from me. And I had to go to her place, and she had like a booty call over there. And like I fucked that shit up. I was like, I thought I was freaking out, man. I wanted to call the ambulance. I was like, yo, I know you got some ass here right now, but like, I just need you to talk to me for like 10 minutes. Like I'm gonna die.
So you definitely don't need to be fucking with shrooms.
No, I don't.
That was the next thing I was gonna ask.
No, I would fuck with shrooms. Yeah, I mean, I've done it. I've done acid before. I still would like. I would fuck with some shrooms right now. I'd even take a couple hits of acid. Fuck
it. Yeah.
How about yourself, Forrest? How have you dealt with it? With any of the stressors that you've had?
Just once again, one, going to school for this. Like I got a master's in social work, so learning like a lot of tools, interning at the VA, and seeing the veteran that I did not want to be. Yeah, the vet we had. I worked there. My first semester was HUD Vash. So, bro, man, you see them vets in there be in a dark apartment. Can't even leave the house. Had other ones like on crack, and then that HUD Vash program. I was all like, at least I was getting people, but the situation I get them in, and then on the other side, on that second semester, I worked in general mental health because I wanted to be a therapist. And then so that was cool. So I got to learn way more stuff. I really they say don't do it, but I literally diagnosed myself using the book we had. But it was just more for, all right, I know like, yeah, when you got your safety T, when you know your target, you all right, this is what I need to, these are the tools I need to have to put this in place. Like I know with PTSD, I know when I'm like, there's too many people out here. I feel it, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I gotta go. Or I still scan when I go in. And then yeah. So yeah, that's why I'll smoke. It just puts my mind more at ease. Like it actually, because my brain like moves so fast. And so like in the morning I'll have to smoke, like just to get to where, all right, I can actually do something. Like, all right, because I'll get decision paralysis. And then so yoga helps. Yeah, man. I was doing jujitsu for a while, but that was just too much. I miss rolling, but that was just too much wear and tear on my body. I have arthritis in my shoulders, both shoulders. I got 2 jacked up discs in my back.
Yeah.
My knees are, fortunately, they have their days. They're good. Yeah, man, my body is woo.
So do you think that's from like this over and prolonged exposure to being, hyper aware, that you feel like your brain is just constantly having to try to process every single thing?
Yeah, I grew up sheltered. I grew up super sheltered.
So, yeah, me too.
Yeah, so just like coming out in the world, everything is all like, oh shit. I'm like just like process. And then also just like being in Iraq, I'll say the difference between my first tour and my second, they were night and day. Like the first tour was, like I said, I joke, it was Bush, it was up tempo. It was down tempo. But the first one, you're alert all the time. Like I can stay up. Only time maybe you fall asleep on guard real quick. But my second tour, it was I had narcolepsy, and I didn't realize till later. Like literally every time we were driving, and I was a TC, and literally every time I got in that truck, I would just rack out. And I learned later, I was like, oh, my body was all like, hey, if we get hit, you get hit in your sleep, homie.
No, you ain't gonna feel it. You're gonna be gone.
Bro, I swear to God.
Things I've had to learn, like, afterwards, and really, really studying, really learning about herbals, learning because I am anti, like, I'm on maybe one medication to help me sleep just because I need the sleep. But I'm so the medication they had me on the Seroquel, and I tried to kick it, and it literally like I was kicking heroin. Like, nah, I'm like, I want to teach veterans how to, manage and get through life. Like, you don't have to be doped up on these meds. There are herbal options out here. There's these healing retreats, there's yoga, there's all these things. There's art. Art is really, really, really has been a lifesaver. Once I figure out how to get in a space with comedy where I can be in a space where it replicates being on the gun line, because the issue that I'm having now is, like we said before, like that's why I got agitated that one time. Like when the dude, I was like, you're not even trying to hear what I'm trying to say. Like you're not even trying to question. Like I'll say, before we move on, the most beautiful thing about Iraq was, like, how they talked about them people before we got there, but the mission that we got was Petraeus had got in, and he was like, Cohen said, we got to learn, we got to get off these files, we got to get amongst the people. And I got to be around these people. I got to see how they lived. I got to see how welcoming they were, and it really humanized them. So yeah, it's so bad. And now I'm at a point now where, like, I can't even like say things without somebody like, we shut you down. Like you can't, like I said before, I can't even say the word trans out in these streets. Like he mentioned the word.
Yeah.
There's train, like I was trying to tell, like the military, this is why I love the Army, that we're so far ahead of everybody. Like, because you're forced to be together. I'm all like, you're forced, and yeah, they have trans people. Man, I don't get it, but I'm all like, you know what? Uncle Sam knows some shit I don't know. So I'm gonna trust Uncle Sam's judgment.
Shit. As far as
I know I got off. Yeah, let's get back into safety T.
Oh no, I mean it's all good. This is how all our podcasts go. There's not been one episode we ever stay on top.
Hey, if I was trans, that would be my nickname, man. That would be my gun line.
Safety. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yes. Yo, that's funny as fuck.
Oh fuck.
I gotta hop back in the game, man. Yeah.
Oh
but,
shit.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
I tell you, man, I want vets to do comedy, man.
There's
Oh
a
my
couple of
God.
vets out there that are doing it. Out here in Texas, there's one dude, Sanchez, I think is his name. He was in 11 Bang Bang. That motherfucker is funny as shit. Raul Sanchez. If you get a chance, YouTube him. That motherfucker is funny as fuck, man. He's telling the story about one time when they were in a firefight and they told him to throw a grenade. So he threw the grenade, but then all you heard was bloop because it fell into the river. Shit. Anyway, he talks about that whole story. It's pretty fucking funny, man. But we all have our ways that we deal with it. I dealt with it through a lot of alcohol.
Mine was alcohol, drugs. I had a bad it was Xanax, Coke, Molly. I've had 2 drug seizures because of that shit. So yeah, so it's just weed and shrooms for me. I've recently stopped drinking as of the 25th of last month.
Hell yeah, congrats, brother.
Yeah. It was just when I was doing the comedy, man, the drinking was getting out of hand. And I was like, you know what? I want to live. So let me, remove that. So
And that's awesome, bro. Because taking that leap to stop, some of us have to be forced to do it. That was this guy right here. I got forced to do it because I almost lost my family over it. What I found myself doing that I was drinking in order to feel something. But the problem was that when I get into those feelings, then it would take me to a rabbit hole. And I would just keep going down that hole, bro. And next thing I know, I blacked out and my wife's crying and the kids are crying and everybody like, fuck that. I don't want to go through that. And then I caught a DUI. Blah, blah, blah. That's a whole long story. But yeah, man. I think we all need to find different ways to cope with it. The one thing I do get pissed off about now, though, it seems like it's been okay. Unpopular opinion. Motherfuckers need to stop to go ahead. What you gonna say?
So writing was my way of kind of coping with my shit too.
Before we gotta get the unpopular opinion, then we get to writing. There we go. I don't want to forget.
Yeah, unpopular opinion.
Oh, all right. So no, because it was Hunt's turn. We haven't asked him how he copes.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah, so it was writing. Like I just finished my book that I started 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, that's the thing though. So I'm gonna get my LLC, and then I can publish it because there's certain things I can't get into right now. Lopez is tracking, but I gotta get
It's of the Central American flavor.
Yeah, goddamn Guatemalans. But yeah, they get you. Hey, stay away from Guatemalans. But yeah, so I'm real happy about that, and that was a way that I really cope with different things too. Because even though I was still kind of drinking, I found that if I did submerge myself in my writing, that I was happier.
Yeah.
And since this book is finished, next month I'm starting the second book, which is going to be called The Arachnids, to the first book.
Definitely gonna have to keep an eye out for it. And so back to my quick unpopular opinion, real quick. So here's my unpopular opinion. It has to do with mental health and PTSD, specifically with those motherfuckers out there that are constantly fucking romanticizing or glorifying it. All right, they need to quit that shit because I don't know if some people. And I think I'm gonna say it's about 90% of the motherfuckers that do it probably don't have any diagnosis for it, and they need to stop out. They just want it because they want you're welcome for my service.
Yeah.
And
I learned, that's the thing, working at the VA, I learned how to weed them jokers out quick. You start asking the right questions and go along, and when it's real. You when you hit a nerve when they stop and it's a pause right there. But if it's not, then they keep on talking about you ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, you start talking about it. But yeah, that's about the writing. I got I definitely how many books I put out so far? I went on a tear after COVID. But yeah, the main one was Red Lake Volume 1. And that was kind of my time before I joined. Okay. And I was trying to work on the second one, and then it just got to be too much. I was all like, this is way too much information. I forgot too much. So I just started I'll just tell stories through TikTok, and then mainly on my YouTube. It's all right, I'll just talk through.
What's your YouTube channel? So people go find you.
Yeah. It's just literally just Forrest Job, FOREST JOB. if they want to hit my link in my link or whatever, they can go to my website and like everything is right there.
Okay.
That's
I'll make sure I put it inside the description or inside the Facebook fucking comments. I'm not good with fucking social media, dog. I suck at that shit.
Good.
Hunt's been bugging me and nagging me for
I try
you.
to keep up with it all. You after a while, you just all like the game passing. Yeah.
Here's the thing, like if I ever hit 1,000 fucking followers on TikTok and I get to go live, I'm probably gonna last about half an hour, if that.
It's overrated, man. I'm good. Like I got it. I'm live, and I'm all like, oh, I ain't got no titties, so they really don't care.
Yeah. I'm banned. Like, yo, I'm on another ban right now. I can hop back on.
Oh, bro,
on the 11th.
I'm on. I always get I've got like 2. Hey, if you keep this.
Yeah. No, listen. So this is how I know we got 5 minutes, but funny story how I got banned Tuesday. So if y'all are tracking Tuesday, that's when Donald Trump was arraigned and he was brought before the court and everything, right? And so one of my friends was like, yo, I literally just put up there like some shit about GoFundMe and this is gonna help Trump. And dude got back like $900 in one day. And so I went on live and I was like, had my Cash App in the background and I was like trying to grift the fuck out of people. I was like, hey, we the people need to help Donald Trump, so donate to me. We the people need to donate to me so we can help Donald Trump. And this one dude was like, you're a fucking sellout. You're like Kanye West. You make me ashamed to be black. And I was like, yo, dude, shut the fuck up and go look at my page. Just shut the fuck up and look at my page.
You should have done what motherfucking Dave Chappelle had done to him. Remember, like, don't come between a man and his money. But what I'm gonna tell you right now, I wish you would try to take from me. I'll put hands on you, Hunt. You stealing, dog.
Bro, I was trying to grip them motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie. And
the
funny thing
your
about
people back another 300 years.
I had the idea to make some free Trump shirts. I just didn't go through with it.
I was waiting for the mugshot. I was gonna put his mugshot on a motherfucking t-shirt.
I'll be grifting. I will grift the fuck out them idiots. Like anybody that wants to do that.
I got a MAGA hat that I decorated too. Be like, hey, this is.
Oh shit! Now that you reminded me. So here, real quick, I want to share something with y'all. This is what I was talking about as far as So this is a shirt that I had made for my platoon. That our motto was "Shoot them in the face." So I don't know if y'all can see it.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Okay, so see something like that is what I could see, like the cross sabers and the Humvee. Obviously not the skeleton and all that shit, but this is what I wouldn't mind seeing. Just because it encompasses Iraq. But if we're trying to talk about the global war on terror, it has to encompass both theaters and shit like that. You know what I mean? One for Iraq and one for fucking for Afghan. Kind of like, I guess, the World War II one would have to be, the Pacific theater and the European theater. I don't know, man. I trip out on that shit. Like, I wonder. Fuck, I don't even know where I was going with this. Man, see, that's why I need to start writing shit down, but I never write shit down. So I just like to, honestly, I like to just let the shit flow normally, because I think it helps. Hey, Hunt. This motherfucker. Hey, Hunt, check out the shirt. Check out the shirt. All right. The design, I should say.
Yeah, hell yeah. Because that's like them 11-14s, and then we was at the cross sabers.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and to shoot him in the face, so Smoke Norwoods.
Yeah, that's our whole platoon motto right there. Shoot him in the face. I tell you what, I love Smoke Norwood to death. I do. He was not the smartest man in the world, but that motherfucker knew that artillery like the back of his hand.
No, that's all you need to know.
That's it. Same with me. I'm not the smartest man in the world. I had to fake it till I made it.
Shit. But shit, I want to continue. Oh man, we only got 1 minute and 30 left.
Well, I gotta go, and then I gotta let you know kind of like what we talked about too.
That's cool.
Well, where you can get all this. I'll plug stuff real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So right now I got this mental health brand that I started, just trying to get the word out. It's called Brothers Need Therapy. You can just check it out, all one word. On the gram. I just need, shoot me y'all addresses and stuff. I got y'all on shirts. And then just my art. He put the link in the bio, but I got art. That's been very healing for me during this process. And also too, closing out, like, But when it gets dark, reach out to somebody. Like, reach out to somebody. If you still choose to kill yourself afterwards, hey, that's on you. But at least, hey, we tried.
Out.
We tried. We reached out. Hey, I'll be like, hey, he really wanted it. Hey, I tried.
He was ready to go. Fuck it.
Hey, if you decide to check out, do me a favor, just update your SGLI, put me in as a beneficiary. You know what I'm saying? No.
Just leave all your TA50 out there, like they used to say.
Yeah. And all
your TA50 out there.
And yo, for real, all them fine little meal talk honeys. Hey, if y'all want a contract marriage, I got you. I will help. I will teach you the game, baby. I'll get y'all them barracks. I have you pinning on farm first.
Yo, have y'all seen that Russian chick that just got married?
The ones on Meal Talk, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, this shit's about to end.
Got 15. Yep.
All right,
rounds complete. Intermission. Gun line out. March order, motherfuckers. Be easy, y'all. Thanks.
Peace.
Peace.